The clock on the wall blinks 2:17 a.m., one red pulse at a time, while the glow from the security monitors paints the maid's face in ghost blue light. You stand in the surveillance room of the Harlington estate, a place so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat over the low hum of the screens. On the largest monitor, a frame freezes mid-motion. The billionaire's son, Connor Harlington, dragging someone, across the marble floor of the East Gallery. His jaw tight, his cufflinks catching light like tiny knives. A glass shatters off-screen. Then silence. You don't move. Your thumb hovers above the Save Clip button, but something in your body refuses to choose. Save it or erase it and maybe save yourself. The camera feed flickers once more before returning to normal, the lifeless calm of a mansion asleep. Behind you, a door creaks. "Why are you still up, Lena?" The voice comes soft but sharp. Robert, the night guard, tall, pale, and always too curious. You blink, forcing a half-smile. "Inventory check, you lie." Robert steps closer, eyes glancing at the paused screen. "System glitch?" You nod quickly, though your pulse says otherwise. You click a random button just to make the image disappear, the way a child hides a broken toy behind their back. He yawns. "Rich folks and their cameras," he mutters, walking out. They record everything but their own sins. The door shuts. You exhale. Only then do you notice your hand shaking, fingertips smudging sweat across the console. The air smells of lemon polish and static. You hit export footage, slip a flash drive into the port, and whisper, "Just in case." The computer blinks. Copying, 7%. 2 floors above, in a suite larger than your entire apartment, the Harlington family sleeps, or pretends to. The chandelier casts faint fractured rainbows over their portraits. Men in tailored suits, women with perfect teeth and diamond collars. You once thought this mansion was heaven for the hard-working. Now it looks more like a museum of ghosts. You remember the sound, the drag, the thud, and you can't unhear it. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was everything. Your mind rewinds to earlier that evening. Connor's slurred laugh at the dinner party, his voice echoing down the staircase. "You don't belong in this room." Anyway, he wasn't talking to you, but the tone, sharp, cutting, hit you all the same. You thought of your brother Marcus, and the way the judge said those same words before cuffing him. "You don't belong in this courtroom anyway." You swallow hard and pull out your worn notebook from your apron, tiny, creased, and private. One word written tonight, 2:17 a.m. You underline it twice. The next morning, sunlight spills through floor-to-ceiling windows, catching on dust motes like tiny secrets in motion. You move through the grand hallway with your mop and your silence. Around you, the mansion buzzes again, the chef yelling in French, the assistant checking news alerts, the wife's voice rising from the lounge, sweet but brittle. Then, a single line of dialogue slices through the hum. "Connor didn't come home last night." You freeze mid-swipe. The voice belongs to Mrs. Harlington, flawless hair, pearls at breakfast. "The chef pretends not to hear. Maybe he's still at the club," the butler offers. She sips coffee instead of answering, her eyes drifting toward the staircase camera, the same angle that caught everything last night. You keep your eyes down, scrubbing harder, pretending the floor is all you see. By noon, the house feels heavier. The air conditioning hums like a secret being whispered through the walls. You slip into the laundry room to check your flash drive. It's still in your pocket, warm from your body heat. You plug it into the old desktop computer near the window. The video plays silently, frames of luxury and violence looping under California sunlight. You hit pause again on the image that started it all, Connor dragging the figure, face half hidden. You can't tell if it's someone unconscious or just resisting him. The marble gleams with a wet shine that isn't just reflection. Then, knock, knock. "Lena?" It's Mrs. Harlington again. Her silhouette fills the doorway like a painting. Light behind her, perfume expensive and choking. "You've been here a long time," she says softly. "Everything all right?" You smile faintly, tucking the flash drive into your pocket. "Just folding towels, ma'am." Her eyes linger a second too long. "Good. We rely on your discretion." She tilts her head slightly. "Especially after unfortunate nights." She leaves before you can reply. The silence that follows is thick as bleach. You sit back, heart pounding, replaying her words. "We rely on your discretion." That wasn't a request, it was a warning in pearls. You glance at the monitors again. Most cameras show nothing but marble, chandeliers, and manicured lies. But in the corner of one frame, you catch a flicker. Someone walking near the east gallery again. A shadow, pausing, then disappearing. You zoom in, but the feed glitches, static crawling across the screen like frost. A faint smile curves on your lips. Whoever tampered with the cameras last night didn't know you saved the original clip. Didn't know you still had the truth, sitting small and quiet in your pocket. You glance at the red light on the recorder. It's still blinking, always watching, always remembering. Outside, thunder rolls in from the hills, rare for Los Angeles. You whisper to yourself, "Looks like rain's coming." But deep down, you know it's something else. Morning light filters through glass walls, slicing the marble floors into strips of gold and shadow. You move quietly across them, mop in hand, as the Harlington mansion awakens to its usual choreography of whispers and money. The air smells of espresso and something metallic, maybe nerves. You've worked here 3 years, long enough to know that gossip travels faster than the cleaning cart. And today it's already begun. "She said the cameras caught something," a maid murmurs near the pantry. "Caught who?" another asks. A pause. "Connor. And someone from last night's party." You keep walking. You've learned that when rich people lie, they do it with confidence and cologne. At the far end of the hall, Mr. Harlington's voice booms from the study. "I don't want this discussed again." "We'll handle it internally." Papers slam. A door closes. You can almost hear the sound of the family's image being polished, like silver that's starting to tarnish. Downstairs, Robert, the night guard, leans against the counter. His uniform rumpled, his smirk too casual. "Busy night, huh?" he says when you pass. You don't look up. "Always," he shrugs. "Word is, one of the cameras went out around 2. You see anything weird?" Your pulse skips. "No, sir. Just dust and laundry." Robert chuckles. "Dust and laundry don't pay this well." He takes a sip of coffee, eyes narrowing. "You ever notice how these people act like their money's a moral achievement?" You tilt your head. Maybe it's guilt disguised as grace. He laughs, a low, surprised sound. "You're sharper than you let on, Lena." You force a polite smile. But something about his tone, almost admiring, almost warning, puts a cold edge in your stomach. He walks away humming. But you notice it, the way he glanced toward the East Gallery before leaving. The same place from the footage. A small question lodges in your mind like a splinter. How much does he know? In the kitchen, staff whisper louder now. The chef has gone silent. The assistant keeps checking her phone. And the air feels thick with something more than humidity. It's fear, wearing expensive perfume. You pass Mrs. Harlington, who's sitting at the breakfast table pretending to read a magazine. Her eyes flick up, scanning you like a page she can't quite trust. "Lena," she says lightly, "have you cleaned the East Gallery yet?" "Not yet, ma'am." "I was about to." "Good." She smiles too long. "Make sure it's spotless. The police might stop by later." "Just routine." You nod, but your breath stutters. "Police." That means someone filed a report. Someone knows there's evidence. You push the cleaning cart down the corridor, wheels squeaking faintly. The East Gallery doors open to a corridor of luxury, portraits of ancestors who stare with smug detachment, golden sconces burning low, and that faint trace of spilled champagne that still clings to the rug. But the marble, where you saw Connor drag that shadow, is spotless. Too spotless. Someone already scrubbed it before sunrise. A shiver crawls up your spine. Wealth cleans faster than truth. You kneel, pretending to polish the baseboard, but really you're inspecting something, a tiny fragment caught in the grout. It looks like a piece of fabric, black silk frayed. You slip it into your glove and continue cleaning, eyes darting to the corner camera. The red recording light blinks steadily. But when you check the feed later, you'll notice it didn't blink at all last night. Someone turned it off manually. You whisper to yourself, who gave the order? By noon, the mansion feels like a movie set after the crew left, beautiful, hollow, pretending nothing happened. The staff moves slower, their conversations shorter. At one point, you pass the butler, who murmurs under his breath, "She'll handle it quietly like always." "She?" You ask. He freezes. "No one. Forget I said anything." Then he hurries off. You glance at the top of the staircase where Mrs. Harlington stands. Phone pressed to her ear, her voice low and urgent. "Yes, I understand," she says. "But the footage is gone." He said it was a malfunction. A pause. "Then make it one." Her eyes meet yours mid-sentence. She smiles again, the way people do when they realize you've seen too much. Hours pass. Afternoon light softens into amber, stretching shadows like secrets across the walls. You return to the laundry room, your only sanctuary. There, you pull out the flash drive from your pocket, the real footage safe within it. You lock it inside a tin box, the kind that once held tea from your mother's kitchen. Then you slide the box into a cracked teapot on the top shelf, a relic of home in this house of glass and marble. You whisper, "You kept your secrets, Ma. Now I'll keep mine." As you close the cabinet, you hear footsteps approaching. You turn. It's the head of security, a man built like a brick wall, sunglasses even indoors. "Mrs. Harlington wants the backup files," he says. "All of them." You nod, pretending not to understand the weight of that demand. "They're in the system, sir." "Then make sure nothing else exists," he says, voice low. "For your sake." He leaves, door swinging shut behind him. You stand still, the hum of the dryer filling the silence. Outside the window, rain begins to fall, first soft, then harder, tapping the glass like impatient fingers. You glance toward the hidden teapot. One drop slides down the pane, tracing a path like guilt down a clean surface. You whisper, half to yourself, half to the ghost of your mother. Sometimes cleaning isn't about removing stains. It's about knowing which ones should stay visible. The thunder outside answers with a deep, rolling sigh. Rain drums against the mansion windows like impatient knuckles. You move through the halls with your mop and your silence, each step echoing in a space too large for truth. Somewhere deep in the walls, the hidden cameras hum softly, mechanical hearts that never sleep. By morning, the sky clears, but the tension doesn't. The Harlington estate looks polished again, gleaming as if money itself were a disinfectant. Yet under that surface lies something rotten, humming beneath the marble. The head of security, Mr. Calder, finds you near the foyer. His shoes leave no sound, his smile no warmth. "Morning, Lena." You force a polite nod. "Sir," he taps his tablet. "We had a little issue last night. Backup drive missing. You handle the cleaning schedule near the security office, don't you?" "I do." "Then you might have seen someone near the consoles?" His tone is conversational, but his eyes are a camera lens, cold, unblinking. You shake your head. "No one but Robert. He checked in before dawn." Calder pauses. "Robert? Interesting." He slides his sunglasses higher, studying your face. "If you remember anything, we reward honesty here." You reply softly, "And punish the rest?" He smirks. "That's life." He leaves behind a faint scent of gun oil and cologne. You exhale, realizing you've been holding your breath since he walked in. Later that day, you pass Robert near the service stairs. He's pretending to fix a fuse box, though you know he's really listening. "Word is," he mutters, "Connor's lawyers are already involved. Families claiming someone tampered with the cameras. Know anything about that?" You shake your head. "I clean. I don't tamper." Robert grins. "Sure. But cleaning's just the art of hiding what matters, isn't it?" He wipes his hands on a rag and walks off. You watch him go, realizing there's another layer to this house, one not built of stone, but of silence. Everyone here knows something. Everyone's pretending not to. You turn the other way toward the staff kitchen. On the counter sits a silver key card, one you don't recognize. The embossed LVL3 access glints under the fluorescent light. Someone left it there carelessly, or on purpose. You glance around. Empty room. You pick it up, Run your thumb over its surface. The name on the back reads Connor Harlington. You slip it into your pocket before anyone enters. That night, the mansion shifts from day's chaos to eerie stillness. From your quarters, you hear laughter upstairs, the muffled kind that sounds like denial. You wait until the house sleeps again, then head quietly to the East Gallery. You swipe the new keycard at the side panel. A green light flickers, door unlocked. The gallery smells faintly of lilies and bleach. A lone painting hangs crooked. A lady in blue, eyes tilted downward, as if ashamed. You step inside, flashlight trembling slightly in your hand. The floor where Connor had dragged that body, spotless. Too spotless again. But near the baseboard, something glints under the beam. A small piece of jewelry, wedged in the crack between marble tiles. You crouch, pry it loose. A gold earring, bent and smeared with dried blood so faint it could be missed under daylight. You whisper, "You left your witness, Connor." You wrap it carefully in a tissue and tuck it beside your flash drive inside the cracked teapot later that night. Secrets need company after all. Morning comes with fake normalcy. The Harlington. Family hosts brunch for investors. Laughing, smiling, performing. Mrs. Harlington greets guests with her usual grace, her diamond bracelet catching sunlight like a threat. You stand nearby, pouring mimosas when Connor walks in, hungover, sunglasses indoors, smile rehearsed. "Lena," he says casually, "you spilled something yesterday, didn't you?" You blink. "Sir?" He leans closer, voice low enough for only you to hear. "Whatever stain it was, make sure it's gone." Your throat tightens. His words are polite. His eyes are knives. He straightens, raising his glass toward the guests. "To transparency," he declares, and everyone laughs. You almost do too. Almost. Later that afternoon, Calder summons you to the security office again. The air inside feels heavier than before. He gestures to the monitors. "Funny thing," he says. "Every file from the East Gallery between 2 and 3A, M, corrupted, except one." He plays the clip. It shows you, sitting at the console, staring at the screens. No sound, just your face, pale, under blue light. Calder pauses the video. "Why were you there?" "Cleaning the surfaces. Someone spilled coffee." He leans back, unimpressed. "Coffee at 2 in the morning. You meet his gaze evenly. "Rich people stain things at all hours." He chuckles, unexpectedly. "You've got nerve. I respect that." He shuts off the monitors. "Let's keep this simple, Lena. There are things better left unwatched. Delete what you have, if you have anything, and you'll be fine." You nod, keeping your face still. Inside your mind races. They know, or they think they do. Either way, your time is running out. That night, you return to your small room above the garage. You pull the flash drive from the cracked teapot and hold it to the light. Its surface reflects your face, tired, defiant, afraid. You whisper, "Not yet." Instead of hiding it again, you plug it into your old laptop. The file opens. Frame by frame, you re-watch the truth you've kept locked away. Halfway through, something catches your attention. A flash of light in the corner mirror just for a second. You rewind. Zoom in. Not Connor's face this time, but someone else's. Watching. Recording. Your blood runs cold. You whisper, "Who else was there?" The thunder outside answers, rolling low, like the start of a storm that's been waiting too long to break. You close the laptop slowly. The rain returns, tapping the roof like fingers counting down. The storm lasts through dawn. Rain streaks the mansion's glass walls, blurring the line between inside and outside, guilt dripping from both sides. You barely sleep. Every creak of the floorboard sounds like footsteps. Every flash of lightning like a camera flash catching you red-handed. When morning finally arrives, you're still at the window, watching the Harlington family's luxury cars shimmer in the wet driveway. Each vehicle looks freshly detailed, like even the rain has to clean itself before touching their world. You whisper to yourself, "Nothing stains here. Not even the truth." By noon, police cars appear at the gate, black and white punctuation marks against the mansion's endless white walls. You're polishing the staircase rail when they arrive. Two detectives, coats damp, eyes scanning everything with quiet suspicion. Mr. Harlington greets them himself, smiling the way powerful men do when they think they're already forgiven. "Thank you for coming, officers. My son's had a bit of a misunderstanding." The word misunderstanding echoes through the foyer like an insult dressed in velvet. You stay silent, stepping aside as the detectives pass. But one of them, the woman with dark curls and tired eyes, meets your gaze for half a second longer than necessary. It's the kind of look people share when they both know something's off. Later, as you scrub the kitchen counters, the sound of voices carries from the study. Detective: "The footage from that wing was erased." Mrs. Harlington: "A technical glitch." "I'm told, Detective." "Convenient timing." A pause. Then Mrs. Harlington's tone softens into performative sorrow. "Detective, we've all been under stress. My son's life is being torn apart by rumors. Surely you understand a mother's fear." The detective doesn't answer immediately. Instead, she says, "Fear's a funny thing, ma'am. It hides behind good manners. The silence that follows is thick enough to mop. You slip out the back door into the rain-washed garden. The scent of wet soil reminds you of home, small-town Alabama, where your mother taught you that clean doesn't always mean pure. She used to say, 'You can't scrub off what people choose to ignore.' You remember her bent over a sink in your childhood kitchen, calloused hands and quiet strength. She cleaned for others too, motels, diners, the courthouse after her shifts. But she always said she was saving for something. Your brother Marcus's college fund. Marcus, who never made it there. He'd been stopped by police one night walking home from his dishwashing job. They said he fit a description. He spent 2 years in prison before the truth came out. Wrong man, wrong night, right skin color. You visited him once in that place, the air thick with bleach and regret. He'd told you, sis, don't ever let their money buy your silence. That's how they win. You didn't understand it then. You do now. Back inside, you find yourself in the mansion's linen closet. Small, windowless, quiet enough to think. You pull out the flash drive again, staring at it like it might start speaking. Then you tuck it back into your pocket. When you step out, Robert is waiting in the hallway. "You've been busy lately," he says. You force a casual tone. "Laundry never sleeps," he smirks. "Neither do secrets," you sigh. "Something you need, Robert?" He tilts his head, voice dropping to a whisper. "I saw you that night." "You weren't the only one in that room," you freeze. "What do you mean?" He leans closer, eyes darting to the security camera above them. "Not here." Then he slips you a folded note. "Meet me by the service gate at 10. When he's gone, you unfold the paper. 3 words, scrawled in shaky handwriting. "I have proof." 10 o'clock feels like a century away. You move through your shift like a ghost, polishing, sweeping, pretending not to exist. The Harlingtons dine in the West Hall, crystal glasses clinking, laughter rehearsed. At one point, Connor walks past you on the way to the bar. His sleeve brushes yours. The faint smell of whiskey and arrogance lingers. He stops, smirks. "Funny thing about cameras," he says. "They see too much, don't they?" You meet his gaze unflinching. "Depends who's watching." He grins, but there's fear behind it. "Careful, Lena. You don't want to end up unemployed. Or worse." He walks away before you can answer. At 9:58, you're at the service gate. The rain has stopped, leaving puddles that reflect the mansion lights like shards of truth. Robert steps from the shadows, his jacket zipped up tight. "You're brave," he says. "Or stupid, you cross your arms." "You said you had proof." He nods. "A copy of the file." "I made one too." Your heart stutters. "Then why come to me?" "Because I know they're on to you," he says. "Calder's checking every locker, every pocket. He'll find your copy by morning." You glance back toward the house. "What's your price, Robert?" He hesitates, then whispers, "I just want out." "You give me your file, I'll give you mine." We both walk away clean. You study his face. Something doesn't add up. His eyes shift too fast, his fingers twitch. Why do I feel, you say quietly, like you already sold your copy to someone else? He exhales. Because I did. Lightning flashes far off, followed by thunder like applause for betrayal. You turn to leave, but he grabs your wrist. You don't understand. They paid me to find yours. I was trying to warn. His words cut off as a car's headlights sweep across the gate. A black SUV rolls to a stop. Inside, you see Calder's silhouette. Robert freezes. Run, he hisses, but you don't. You just stare at the SUV, calm as the eye of the storm. Then, slowly, you reach into your apron pocket and feel the edge of the silver key card. You're right, you whisper. It's time I stopped cleaning up other people's messes. That night, back in your room, you lock the door and open your laptop again. The flash drive hums faintly as it connects. But instead of watching the video, you open a new folder titled Marcus Legacy. You upload the clip. Then you duplicate it, not once but 5 times, and send each copy to a different anonymous email address you created weeks ago. When the progress bar reaches 100%, you whisper, "You taught me well." "Mama, you too, Marcus." Outside, lightning flashes again, illuminating the teapot on your shelf. Your mother's teapot, where another flash drive waits. Hidden but not forgotten, the storm is moving east now. But inside the mansion, it's just beginning. Morning returns too bright, too clean, the kind of sunshine that looks like denial. The Harlington mansion gleams again, every surface polished to a lie. But underneath the citrus scent of luxury, there's the faint metallic tang of panic. You're in the foyer, dusting the portraits, when Mrs. Harlington's voice cuts through the stillness. "Where is Robert?" she asks the staff. No one answers. The butler clears his throat. "He didn't clock in, ma'am." Mrs. Harlington's smile twitches. "Find him. And check the cameras." At that, you feel something cold uncoil in your stomach. You glance toward the nearest monitor. Blank, no feed. Every screen in the hallway shows the same static gray. "Network outage," the house technician mutters. "All systems wiped overnight." The butler frowns. "All of them?" The tech nods, confused. Every backup, every drive. It's like someone reset the whole system. You lower your duster, heart hammering. Someone inside knew, and not just about the cameras. About you. Hours pass. The mansion buzzes like a hive in crisis. Voices echo from every wing. Fragments of orders, accusations, denial. You keep your face calm as you mop the corridor near the East Gallery, but inside, your mind races. Robert's gone. The servers are wiped. Your name will surface next. You kneel by the baseboard and whisper, "What did you do, Robert?" "You remember his words from last night. I was trying to warn you." "But warn you about what? Calder? The family? Or something bigger?" The rain has stopped, but thunder still hums faintly beyond the hills, like the storm refused to leave completely. By afternoon, you're summoned to the study. The summons itself feels like a trap. Inside, Mrs. Harlington sits behind a desk of dark walnut, her posture flawless, her eyes calculating. Calder stands beside her, arms folded. "Sit down, Lena," she says softly. You obey, resting your hands in your lap. She studies you for a long moment. "You've been with us 3 years. You're diligent, quiet, trustworthy." You nod once. "I try to be, ma'am. And that's why," she continues, "I'd like to believe you had nothing to do with last night's issue." Your heart skips. "What issue?" Calder smirks. "Don't play dumb. Robert's missing, and our files are gone. You were the last one seen near the servers. You stay perfectly still. I clean the floors, not the drives." Mrs. Harlington leans forward. "Then tell me, Lena, why were you in the security room at 2:17 in the morning?" The number hits you like a slap. 2:17. The time you wrote in your notebook. The time the footage froze. You swallow. "I thought I heard something." I checked the monitor. "That's all." Calder circles behind you, slow and deliberate. "And what did you see?" You glance between them. "Just static." "Static," Mrs. Harlington repeats, voice feather-light but sharp as glass. "And yet, you've seemed rather nervous lately. Almost as if you're hiding something." You meet her gaze. "I'm hiding nothing, ma'am. Just trying to keep my job." She smiles thinly. Of course. Then she stands, smoothing her silk blouse. You're dismissed for the day? Take the afternoon off. But the tone says, don't go far. You walk out slowly, the heavy door closing behind you like the lid of a box. Down the corridor, the staff watch you with polite fear, the kind reserved for people who might soon vanish. You don't stop until you reach the laundry room. You pull open the cabinet, heart pounding, and freeze. The teapot is gone, the shelf is empty, your entire body goes cold. You whisper no. You start pulling out towels, boxes, anything. Nothing. The teapot, your mother's keepsake, your only backup, gone. You lean against the wall, breath shaking. Then you see it, a faint ring of dust where the teapot once stood, and next to it, a folded note. You unfold it with trembling fingers. 2 words. We know. You don't remember walking outside? Suddenly you're in the garden, hands trembling, air thick with the scent of roses and fear. You look toward the house, rows of gleaming windows reflecting your own reflection back at you. It feels like being watched from every direction. You whisper, okay, fine. You want a game? A memory surfaces. Marcus, the night before his sentencing. He'd whispered through the glass. They think silence is control. But silence is also strategy. You pull out your phone. A message notification blinks. Unknown number. Meet me at 9 p.m. Bring the file. You stare at the text. No name, no location? Just coordinates. You check the map. It's the mansion's back driveway near the old guest house. You whisper, trap, but curiosity hums louder than fear. Night falls. The mansion glows like a lantern. Beautiful, hollow, trembling with secrets. You head toward the guest house, every step crunching gravel. Inside, dust motes drift in the flashlight beam. The smell of mildew and perfume lingers, a mix of neglect and memory. Then, movement. From the shadows steps Mrs. Harlington. No pearls tonight, no smile. Just red-rimmed eyes and a silk robe that looks too fragile for the weight she carries. I didn't come to threaten you, she says quietly. You tighten your grip on your bag. Then why am I here? She looks past you toward the storm-dark window. Because I know you saw it. The footage. You say nothing. Her voice trembles, breaking the mask for the first time. It wasn't what it looked like. You cross your arms. Then what was it? She hesitates, then whispers. He was trying to protect his brother. You blink. His brother? Evan, she says. The one we never talk about. The one we sent away. You remember the name, a rumor among staff. The other Harlington son, the one who disappeared years ago. She continues, voice cracking. That night, Evan came home high, violent. He attacked the maid. Connor dragged him off her. But the footage, it looks the opposite. You stare at her. And you erased it all to protect him? She nods, tears glinting. To protect what's left of this family. But someone else copied it. Someone who wants money. You exhale slowly. Robert, she nods once. If that video goes public, the headlines will destroy us. And the victim's name will too. She doesn't deserve that. I'm begging you, Lena. Don't release it. You look away, torn between her trembling hands and the memory of your mother's voice. Truth doesn't need polish, baby. It just needs light, you whisper. Maybe the truth isn't what you think it is. Outside, thunder rumbles again, quieter this time but closer. You step into the rain, leaving Mrs. Harlington behind, and for the first time, you're unsure who the villain really is. You drive through the night with trembling hands, windshield streaked by mist and indecision. The wipers squeak like a metronome marking your guilt. Somewhere behind you, the mansion's lights fade into the distance. Swallowed by darkness and lies, the coordinates from the text blink on your phone again. A gravel road cutting through the woods, leading to an old greenhouse. You slow to a crawl, headlights slicing through fog. You whisper, if this is a setup, make it quick. Your voice sounds steadier than you feel. Inside the greenhouse, shadows move between the glass panes, a silhouette, waiting. You push the creaky door open, and the scent of damp soil and wilted roses fills your lungs. Lena, it's Robert. He steps forward, beard unshaven, eyes wild. His mansion uniform replaced with a hoodie. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. I didn't mean to scare you. he says quickly. But you had to know. They're spinning it. You stare him down. You wipe the footage. He shakes his head. No, Calder did. I made a copy before he could. Your pulse spikes. You have it? He nods and pulls out a small black flash drive. The only one left. He slides it across the potting table. That night wasn't about some scandal. It was about insurance fraud, Lena. The Harlington staged that break-in to cover embezzled funds. Connor wasn't saving anyone. He was silencing his brother before he could talk. You freeze. Then why did Mrs. Harlington tell me she's covering him? Always has. Robert leans closer, voice dropping. I was supposed to delete everything, but I couldn't. I knew you'd do the right thing. You exhale, shaky. So what's your plan? Sell it? He grimaces. No, I was going to hand it to a journalist, but someone leaked my name. They fired me before I could act. You glance at the drive. If they find you, you're done. He gives a hollow laugh. If they find you, we're both done. Then, footsteps outside. Both of you freeze. Robert kills the flashlight. Through the fogged glass, beams of light sweep the ground. Flashlights. 2 of them. He whispers, They found us. You grab the flash drive and shove it into your pocket. Go, he urges. Take the back door. What about you? I'll stall them, just go. Before you can argue, he shoves a tray of pots to the floor, the crash echoing through the glass house. The flashlights jerk toward the noise. You duck out the rear exit. Heart pounding, behind you voices shout. Calder's unmistakable. Find her! You sprint into the trees, rain slicking your hair, branches whipping your face. You clutch the flash drive like it's oxygen. By the time you reach the car, you're gasping. You jam the key in, peel onto the highway, and glance back once, just once, to see the faint glow of the greenhouse burning. The mansion eats its secrets fast. At dawn, you park behind a diner off Route 15. Steam fogs the windows, and the waitress looks too tired to care that you're dripping rainwater and guilt. You sip bitter coffee, staring at the flash drive on the table. 1,000 lives sit inside that inch of plastic. A family's fortune, a maid's freedom, a man's conscience. You whisper, What would you do, Ma? In your mind, her answer is immediate. Truth doesn't owe them comfort, baby. Just light. You pull out your phone and scroll through contacts until you reach one name. Diane Kelser, investigative reporter. You met her once, years ago, when she covered your brother's sentencing. She'd said, Some stories are too ugly for paper, but too important to stay buried. You hit call. It rings once, twice, then Kelser. You take a breath. It's Lena Cruz. I've got something you'll want to see. By noon, you're in her downtown office, a small fortress of files and half-empty coffee cups. She listens as you tell her everything, the footage, the family, the missing butler. When you hand her the drive, she slips it into her laptop. The screen flickers, static, then image. Connor Harlington drags someone across marble floors. Not his brother, but a man in black gloves. They're shouting, muffled, frantic. Mrs. Harlington steps into frame, terrified. Connor strikes the man once, twice, until he drops. You whisper, That's not Evan. Diane leans forward. That's Calder. The breath leaves your body. Connor killed Calder's twin brother. The housekeeper on the video sobs as Connor wipes blood off his cufflink, calm as ever. Diane sits back, stunned. This changes everything. You nod slowly. And if you publish it? They'll deny it. But the audio, she points to the corner of the frame. That's a confession. A faint voice on playback says, Get rid of him. No one can know he was here. Diane looks at you. You're aware this could ruin them, and you. They'll come for you. You meet her eyes. They already did. Hours later, you walk out into sunlight that feels too honest. The city hums. Life continues, unaware that somewhere a dynasty is about to fall. You glance at your phone, one new text from an unknown number. You made the wrong choice. You delete it without reading again. Then another message buzzes in. Diane, broadcast airs at 6. Brace yourself. At 6. America watches. The news anchor's voice cuts through living rooms and hotel lobbies. New evidence surfaces in the Harlington estate investigation, revealing tampered surveillance and violent misconduct. Clips roll. Connor's face. Calder's collapse. The mansion. The truth. The camera freezes on one frame. The moment Mrs. Harlington covers her mouth in horror. You're at a bus stop, watching from your phone. No celebration. No applause. Just quiet vindication. A couple beside you whispers, "She looks terrified," you murmur. "She should be." Then a final twist. The next segment shows a headline, "Former housekeeper missing after leak." Your photo flashes on screen. You drop your phone, heartbeat roaring in your ears. The crowd stares at you. The voiceover continues. Authorities are seeking information regarding Lena Cruz. Last seen leaving the Harlington estate 2 nights ago. You whisper. They turned it on me. And in that instant, you realize the Harlingtons weren't finished. Somewhere. Someone still controls the story. The question is, who? You spend the night in the back booth of a 24-hour laundromat, surrounded by the hum of dryers and the sour scent of detergent. The televisions above the folding tables loop your face over and over. Missing person, source of leak, maid turned whistleblower. Every time the words repeat, it feels like the spin cycle tightening around your ribs. You pull the hood lower over your head, whispering to no one. They flipped the script faster than I could breathe. A little boy beside you, maybe 8, watches the news too. You're famous, he says with a grin. You smile, small and tired. Something like that. He hands you a quarter. For the machine. You stare at it, ridiculous and kind. The smallest gesture of faith you've seen in days. You drop it in your pocket and head out into the drizzle. Downtown is quieter than usual. Too quiet. You can feel eyes even when you don't see them. Every passing car hums suspicion. When you reach the underpass near the train yard, a figure steps out of the shadows. Robert. He looks worse. Split lip, torn jacket, hands shaking. They burned my apartment, he blurts. Said I betrayed the family. You were right. They've got someone on the inside feeding the story. You pull him under the overpass, away from the headlights. Who? He hesitates, then mutters, Diane's producer, Calder's cousin. They used your confession clips, cut and twisted them. They're making it look like you blackmailed the Harlingtons. You close your eyes. So the truth's been bought again. Robert hands you a crumpled envelope. Not all of it. Diane sent this before the feed went down. Inside, a memory card. On it, a short video, unedited, raw. Mrs. Harlington in her study, whispering into her phone. If it comes out, blame the maid. Say she doctored the files. The call log timestamp, 1 day before the leak. You exhale, shaky but alive again. This is it. This saves us. Robert nods. If we can get it out first. You both head for the bus station, planning to reach a local news affiliate 2 towns over. But when you arrive, blue lights already wash the parking lot. 2 squad cars. Officers scanning photos on their phones. Your photo. Robert mutters, they're fast. You glance at the old coin laundry across the street, the one with a payphone by the vending machine. Go around back, you whisper. If they spot me, you keep running. He opens his mouth to argue, but you cut him off. They'll expect 2. Give them 1. You slip away, hood up, keeping close to the alley. The rain starts again, soft but insistent, washing the dust off neon signs. You reach the payphone, jam a quarter in, the same one from the boy. You dial Diane's emergency number. Voicemail. Diane, it's me, you whisper. They turned it. The file you gave me, it's proof. Meet me at the ferry terminal, midnight. Don't call back. You hang up and turn. A black SUV idles across the street. Headlights flare. You run. You sprint through the maze of streets, water slapping your shoes, lungs burning. The SUV follows, silent except for the hiss of tires. You cut left through an alley, vault a low fence, and drop behind dumpsters. Footsteps approach. Heavy. Deliberate. You hold your breath. Then a voice. You should have stayed quiet. Lena, it's Calder, alive. Your mind reels. The man on the tape wasn't dead after all. Or maybe the footage cut before the end. He steps closer, umbrella open like a prop, smile chillingly casual. You think the world cares about your little story. They love villains who can afford lawyers. You stay crouched, shaking but steady. You killed your brother. He tilts his head. Half-brother. And you leaked the wrong half. He raises his hand. Not a weapon, just a phone. The screen glows with a video. You, in Diane's office, saying, "They'll come for me." Edited, it sounds like a threat. He pockets the phone. You'll confess on camera, or you'll disappear for good. Something inside you snaps, not fear, but a cold, deliberate clarity. You stand. Then start recording. He blinks, caught off guard. You step into the streetlight. Because I've got a confession, all right, just not the one you scripted. From your pocket, you pull a tiny mic. The red light blinks. Calder's smirk falters. What's that? The truth, you say simply. Broadcast live. He glances around, realizes too late that you're standing under a city surveillance pole. Its camera aimed perfectly at him. Say hello to the audience, you whisper. He lunges, but the sirens hit before he reaches you. 2 cruisers swing in, lights slicing through rain. Robert steps from behind one, hands raised. She's the whistleblower. He's the one you want! The officers move fast. Orders, cuffs, the echo of control shifting hands. Calder's voice cracks for the first time. You think this ends me? You meet his glare. No, but it starts something. An hour later, you sit on the ferry deck wrapped in a blanket as dawn glows pink over the water. Robert leans beside you, silent. Your phone buzzes, a text from Diane. Footage aired live. Whole city saw it. You're cleared. You stare at the horizon. Cleared, you repeat softly. That's a new word. Robert chuckles, faint but real. What now? You smile almost. Now I rest. Maybe learn to trust sunshine again, he nods. You kept the secret long enough. You look out over the sea, voice barely above the wind. Some secrets were never mine to keep. The ferry horn moans, low, mournful, final. Somewhere behind you, the city wakes to headlines it can't ignore, and in the quiet between waves, you finally breathe. The ocean looks like liquid glass that morning, soft, endless, and clean in a way that feels almost insulting after the weeks of grime you've waded through. You sit on the pier with your duffel at your feet, the gulls circling overhead, salt air sticking to your skin like a quiet reminder you made it out alive. But freedom, you realize, isn't silence. It's noise. The world talking about you when you're not there to answer. Your phone vibrates again. Notifications stack one after another. Justice for Lena trending. Harlington Holdings stock plummets 47%. Police reopen embezzlement probe. For a moment, you don't move. The victory feels too big, too sharp, like light reflected off broken glass. Then, another text. Unknown number. You don't know the whole story. You almost laugh. Of course, there's always another layer. By noon, you're sitting across from Detective Morales in a seaside cafe, steam rising from her coffee, notepad open but untouched. She watches you with a mix of exhaustion and respect, the look of someone who's seen too many liars and just met someone who isn't one. We've confirmed Calder's confession, she says. He's being charged with obstruction, extortion, and accessory after the fact. You stir your tea. Accessory to what? She sighs. To his brother's death. You freeze. His brother's dead? Morales nods. We found human remains near the north property line. Forensics are running DNA, but it matches Evan's dental records. The teacup trembles in your hand. You whisper, then the footage was part true, part staged, she says. Connor attacked Calder, but Calder finished what he started. Then they buried it together, until greed split them apart. You lean back, numb. So the mother protected a murderer. Morales' expression softens. A mother protecting what was left of her children. Doesn't make it right, but it makes it human. You stare out the window, waves rolling against the pier. People still argue whether truth heals or just hurts slower. She closes the notebook. Sometimes it does both. That night, back in your tiny sublet apartment, a place that smells of new paint and second chances, you unpack the duffel. Inside, beneath the extra clothes and the flash drive now emptied of its weight, lies the teapot, cracked but whole. Someone must have returned it. Maybe Robert, maybe fate. You run your thumb along the fracture line. A scar that didn't break. For a long moment, you just sit. The city hum faint beyond the window. Then you open your laptop, on screen, emails from producers, journalists, law firms, all wanting the same thing. Your story, your image, your pain for public consumption. You hover over reply, then close the laptop. Not yet. 2 weeks later, you're walking down a community college hallway, a tote bag slung over your shoulder. Flyers on the walls announce night courses, legal studies, digital security, storytelling for social change. You pause at the last one and smile. Storytelling, you murmur. Guess I've got experience. A familiar voice behind you says, you sure do. You turn. Diane. Lighter now, no cameras, no deadlines. Just a woman who believed enough to risk her career. You're hard to track down, she says. Occupational hazard. Diane chuckles. They're making a documentary. You could consult. Off camera. You shake your head. The world doesn't need my face. Just the truth, she nods, approving. Then maybe you can help others tell theirs. You think about it. The quiet maid, the mansion, the footage, the headlines, and something in your chest loosens. Maybe that's the job I should have had all along. Weeks pass. The Harlington estate becomes an artifact, a skeleton of secrets fenced off by yellow tape and time. Tourists slow their cars to stare. Some whisper about the ghost maid who brought down billionaires. You laugh when you hear that phrase on the radio. Ghost maid, you repeat, amused. Could be worse, Robert calls sometimes. He's starting over too. New name, new city, same heart. You talk about ordinary things. Rent, weather, the absurd price of coffee. Sometimes neither of you mention the mansion at all, and yet the quiet between words still hums with everything you both know. One afternoon, a package arrives at your mailbox. No return address. Inside, a single security badge. Harlington Manor, silver lettering worn with age. And beneath it, a note in handwriting you recognize instantly. Thank you for turning the light on. M.H. You sit for a long time staring at it, unsure if the initials mean Mrs. Harlington or something else. Maybe it doesn't matter. You place the badge beside the cracked teapot on your shelf, both symbols of something once fragile that somehow survived. You whisper, we all kept the secret, just not the same one. That evening, you walk the pier again. The sun sinks low, turning the water copper. A little boy tosses breadcrumbs to the gulls, laughter ringing out over the tide. You smile, slipping the quarter he once gave you back into your pocket. A small, ridiculous charm that somehow carried you through. For the first time in months, you let yourself breathe without glancing over your shoulder. The wind picks up, carrying the faint echo of your mother's voice. Truth doesn't need polish, baby. It just needs light. You close your eyes, letting the sound blend with the sea until both are one soft, endless song, and for once, the silence isn't fear. It's peace. The camera would linger now. Long shot of the horizon, waves folding over themselves like forgiveness. The world, smaller and quieter, still carries the bruise of everything that happened, yet somehow you fit inside it again. The mansion's lights are gone, but others flicker on, and in apartments, diners, courtrooms, people watching your story not as spectacle but as a mirror. Because what happened wasn't just about class or money or secrets. It was about how truth survives, stubborn, imperfect, shining through even the dirtiest glass. Somewhere, a woman picks up her broom with new dignity. Somewhere else, a man reconsiders the price of silence. You stand at the edge of the pier, dusk, painting your face in gold, and you whisper the words you wish someone had said to you sooner. You were never small. They just built walls too high. The tide takes the sound, carries it outward until even the ocean keeps your secret no longer. If this story reminded you that justice doesn't always roar, sometimes it whispers through. The hands of the quiet ones make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. You ever seen someone underestimated because of where they work, how they speak, or what they wear? Tell us your story in the comments below. Your experience might just inspire our next viral tale of truth and redemption. And here's a little challenge for my sharp-eyed viewers. There's a subtle moment around minute 7:18. When the maid slides that USB across the table, look closely at what she does with her thumb before she lets go. That tiny gesture reveals her real plan long before anyone in the mansion realizes what's happening. Watch again and see if you can spot it, because in this house of secrets, every detail tells the truth.